Okay, let's unpack this immediately because the numbers we are seeing here, they feel like a fundamental contradiction to everything we're usually told about making content.
Right. The accepted wisdom is that you need these big, high-production viral hits.
Exactly. Professional storytelling, complex narratives.
Yeah.
But this is the opposite.
It is, and what we're seeing is that AI-assisted content has just introduced this radical divergence from that model.
Radical is an understatement. I
Yeah.
mean, our source material details channels generating, well, staggering revenue.
Yeah.
We're talking between $10,000 and get this, $150,000
A month.
per month for posting videos that are objectively repetitive,
Yeah.
passive. Some are literally just screensavers. The most lucrative AI niches are often the most mundane.
And that forces us to ask a really crucial question. What metrics are platforms actually rewarding? The goal of this deep dive isn't to chase quick hacks. It's to, move past the content itself and really analyze the mechanics underneath.
So the monetization rules, the audience psychology.
Precisely. And the incentives that reward long passive viewing over, say, high-effort production.
So we're basically mapping the business strategy behind the boredom.
Exactly. If you understand the system, how platforms value watch time, you see why low-effort utility, scaled by AI, can generate more stable long-term revenue than a big, viral one-off.
Okay.
So we've synthesized the source material down into 5 of these sort of hidden AI niches that exploit this. We've got art TV, timers, data comparisons, ASMR, and then the big one, immersive warm-ups.
Let's start at the extreme end of that simplicity then, what we're calling the ambient utility niches. These require almost zero brain power from the viewer.
A perfect place to begin, because their success relies almost entirely on maximizing the duration of the video loop. It's all about continuous watch time, not active engagement like comments or shares.
First up, art TV. The source estimates these channels can pull in somewhere between $10,000 to $28,000 a month. And the core concept is, it's absurdly simple. It's just 2 to 4 hour looping videos.
They're high-resolution digital screensavers, essentially.
But the first reaction has to be, who is watching that?
And that's the key. You have to shift your perspective. This content isn't for you, the active viewer at home scrolling through Netflix. It fills a genuine commercial market gap.
You mean like physical environments?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think about a quiet corner in a high-end coffee shop, or that calming visual in a hospital waiting room, or a pediatric dentist's office.
So it's B2B background media, but delivered through YouTube.
Okay.
That is clever. But, okay, I have to challenge the effort claim here. If it's really that low, just one image stretched for 3 hours, why isn't everyone doing this? Where's the hidden work?
And that brings us right back to the principle of specificity. A generic screensaver will fail. It'll just get lost. The successful channels are strategic in 2 areas. First, theme.
Okay.
They have to commit to a specific aesthetic or mood. Is it, say, moody cyberpunk for a trendy bar? Or bright, whimsical nature scenes for a physiotherapy office?
Right. And the second thing?
Seasonality. The sources show channels that lean heavily into seasonal themes. Autumn leaves, holiday fireplaces, winter scenes. They see huge spikes in viewing when those aesthetics are most wanted.
Ah, so the AI does the heavy lifting, the image generation, but the human brain defines the niche.
Precisely. The workflow uses simple tools like ChatGPT or NanoBanana. NanoBanana is noted for being really good at this, generating consistent, high-res assets that are easy to loop. The value is in the idea of the niche, not the complexity of the image.
That makes sense. That distinction, utility plus specificity, is crucial. Let's move to the next one, which seems even simpler but potentially makes more money. Timers. The source estimates these channels are generating $20,000 to $56,000 a month. Who are these high-value viewers just watching a clock run down?
Well, the audience is massive, and it's highly captive. You're talking about teachers, parents, entire classrooms. It's a fundamental utility.
The tool.
It's a tool. But the reason for the high revenue is that they've converted that functional utility, a clock, into high retention content, especially for kids.
So you're saying a plain countdown clock, just black and white numbers, that fails.
Completely. A plain clock is just a utility. People will click away. The success, the real trick, is adding pressure, a narrative, a story around the countdown.
Oh, like the examples they give. A Mission Impossible bomb ticking down.
Or an animated slime maze that the clock is controlling. You're invested because you have to know what happens when the clock hits 0.
That narrative hook, it converts the tool into an experience.
And that narrative tension is what maximizes retention. People stay glued to the very last second, and kids will often demand to watch it again. That is gold for the algorithm.
And the AI workflow reflects that layering, I assume.
It does. They use image-to-video AI to create the animation, the story, the visual theme. Then they just overlay standard countdown assets from libraries like Envato Elements. It's story layered onto function.
That subtle shift is what drives the monetization up to that level. It's strategic.
It is. Now let's pivot into a different psychological area. The sensory and curiosity niches.
Right. These are less about background viewing and more about grabbing your eye instantly with minimal cognitive load. You're watching, but you don't really have to think.
These niches tap directly into, well, primal human urges, the desire for random knowledge and pure sensory satisfaction. AI is perfect for this because it can churn out massive volumes of easily digestible visual info.
First up in this category, data comparisons. Estimated to pull in 13 to 37,000 a month. This is that how big is the biggest fish? Curiosity.
Or what's the relative size of every planet in Star Wars? The format is engineered for speed. You just watch bars or images scale up against each other.
And what's fascinating here is the power of what you call pre-existing obsessions.
Yes. The content that really sustains success is tied to big, established intellectual property, fandoms. You see size comparisons of Marvel characters, or the robots in Pacific Rim.
It's a shortcut for the brain. You don't have to learn a new concept. You're just consuming visual facts about things you already care about. It satisfies that desire for knowledge as a reflex.
Exactly. It lowers the barrier to entry, but keeps the clickability and shareability super high within those fan communities. And the workflow is simple. Use an image generator like Nano Banana for clean assets. Then, the only real production step is basic keyframing in an editor like CapCut.
And that keyframing, that's just to add a little bit of movement.
A slow zoom, a slight pan, yeah. Just enough so the images aren't totally static.
Mm-hmm.
It tricks the platform into registering it as higher effort video content.
That detail is crucial. It's optimizing for the algorithm's definition of what video is.
It's a strategic loophole. Which brings us to the fourth niche, pure sensory novelty. ASMR, estimated at 6 to 17,000 a month. This one's illogical, it's highly visual, and it's totally scroll-stopping.
The source specifically mentions customized glass bottles breaking. When I first saw that revenue figure, I just had to stop and think about the absurdity of monetizing shattering glass.
The mechanism is unique sensory input. It's highly addictive. But the success isn't just in the sound of the glass breaking. It's in the visual customization.
Right. The AI lets them bypass reality.
Yes, they're showing bottles that are impossible to make in the real world. Giant Coke bottles made of jelly or custom shapes filled with colorful Orbeez that shatter in a sequence.
That visual creativity is the hook.
It is. They use specialized image-to-video models like VO3, which are great for generating these custom visual loops and simulations. It creates a unique, addictive sensory input that the algorithm just loves to serve up.
So across all four of these niches, art, TV, timers, data, ASMR, it seems like the AI provides the scale, but the human creativity provides the specific angle that makes it a marketable niche.
That is the essential strategic blend. You use simplicity for scale, specificity for monetization, and now we'll get to the category where the revenue just explodes, because it leverages not just passive viewing, but active real-time interaction.
This is the fifth and final one, immersive war or warm-ups. The estimated earnings jump from $47,000 up to an astounding $150,000 a month. That is a huge leap.
The key is that this content is intensely interactive. It's basically a dancing video game, but on a viewing platform. The audience mimics action swiping, punching guided by on-screen elements that are synced with the music.
It turns passive watching into low-pressure participation. You don't have to be good, you just have to move along.
And that blended approach is the value driver. It fills multiple needs at once. For kids, it's incredibly addictive. For groups, it's an easy party activity. But the huge profitable market gap it fills is as a low-pressure workout, especially for the elderly or those with limited mobility.
So the high earnings reflect that convergence of engagement and real-world utility. And, just like with art TV, the power is multiplied by applying a specific theme.
Absolutely critical. The source details how a standard fitness version might do okay, but a Christmas or New Year's themed video in this format hit over 37 million views. That theme adds timeliness and cultural relevance.
And how does the AI handle that level of synchronization?
It's using advanced tools like VO3 to animate very simple images into quick 5-second motion loops. Those loops are then meticulously lined up with popular music and overlaid with those meme-style prompts. The arrows, the swipes, the guides. It feels like a high-energy game, but the inputs are still surprisingly simple.
Okay, we've mapped all five. Let's synthesize the actual strategy now. The mission here is to understand the principles of platform monetization, not just get video ideas.
Right. If we connect all these dots, the most successful AI strategies seem to adhere to three core principles. They're designed to beat the algorithm at its own game.
The first one is retention, and that seems to be the foundation of everything now.
It is the absolute foundation. The principle of retention says your content has to maximize viewing duration.
Oh.
Long form, looping, non-interactive. Because watch time, not clicks, is the key metric that platforms reward with higher ad revenue and promotion.
They're optimizing for sustained attention, not
Yep.
momentary virality.
Exactly. And the second, which we saw everywhere, is specificity. The principle of specificity. Success never comes from being generic. You have to find a specific angle, a defined audience. You don't make a background image, you make a moody screensaver for high-end retail. You don't make a countdown, you make a narrative-driven bomb timer for a K-5 classroom. The niche defines the value.
And that leads to the third principle, the one that makes this all scalable: simplicity.
The principle of simplicity. The AI workflows are intentionally streamlined. Image generation, basic keyframing, looping. The big insight here is that the value isn't in the technical complexity of the AI. The value is purely in the idea, the insight into an overlooked audience need that AI lets you fulfill effortlessly and repetitively at scale.
You're minimizing the input to get the maximal algorithmic output.
That's it.
So what does this all mean for us, for you trying to apply this strategically? It means the definition of content success in the AI era is fundamentally shifting. It's less about chasing that high-production viral documentary and more about catering efficiently to utility, passive retention, and niche sensory needs.
This deep dive really reveals that the true goldmine isn't in making AI create highly complex content that competes with Hollywood. It's in using AI to effortlessly fulfill simple, repetitive background needs that just maximize viewing time within the platform's rules. It's a complete inversion of conventional wisdom.
And that realization should shift how you approach content strategy from here on out. If non-interactive, multi-hour loops that solve simple utility problems are the key to stable, high monetization, what other boring background utilities in business, in education, personal wellness are being completely overlooked right now? What simple, repetitive utility can you solve today with minimal production effort, relying only on a clever, highly specific idea?